Welcome back to the Chasing Tone podcast. Today I have a special segment. I guess we'll just keep calling this Tone Tips. Basically, here's what I'm doing. So this is a YouTube video that I did recently, kind of showing the difference between using dirt pedals, overdrives, boosts, with a clean channel on an amp versus going right into that same channel but having it cranked. So clean amp platform versus turning it up so it's just breaking up like crazy and has a really nice natural tube overdriven tone to it already. So I'm kind of wanting to show you guys and girls and those listening, moms, dads, kids, just what that difference is whenever you're running it into a clean amp versus a dirty amp, kind of how it really is totally different tones. And keep in mind, I'm probably going to say this a few times through the video, there is no right or wrong. So it's not that one tone is better than the other, but I think it's a really good thing to do to kind of contrast the two because, for one, it's fun. And for two, it might give you some ideas. So for this video, I'm actually using, what am I using? I'm using an orange Rockerverb 50 into the captor, which is a 2 notes attenuator. And then that into my DAW, running impulse responses. The impulse responses I'm using I'm using 3 of them combined together. One or two of them is Own Hammers, and another one is from Celestion. So just a fun little thing to do, but it gives a really great sound. Still, the amp is breaking up like crazy. The sound is coming after the speaker, so you're getting all that break up and everything. So let's jump into the video, and maybe I'll interrupt it right in the middle and kind of explain things a little more if I need to. So let's get into it. Well, hello. Today I wanted to discuss 2 totally different types of sounds: an overdriven sound with pedals versus an overdriven sound through the amp. So in other words, overdrive pedals in clean channel, very clean, or amp clean channel turned all the way up, or just the, if it's only a single channel amp, to turn all the way up, and then run some dirt pedals into it to give it a little bit more gain. There's not like a right or wrong way to do this, or right or wrong sound, or anything like that. It's just 2 totally different flavors. But I think it'd be fun and entertaining to actually let you guys see what you think. So, guys and gals, rather. So let's start with my clean tone on an orange Rockerverb 50 EQ straight up and down on the clean channel. All right, so let's start with the Tube Screamer. The TS9 is something everyone's probably very familiar with. Mid-humpy around 720 hertz. Some people love it, some people hate it. I think it has its applications. I wouldn't, call it a distortion pedal necessarily, but I think even when it's on a clean channel versus when it's driving an amp, 2 totally different sounds. So let's jump into that right now. Turn my volume back a little bit and turn my gain up. Here we go. So that is a cool sound. It's got its applications, right? I like to actually back that gain off a little bit, and a lot of times I'll use it just on a bridge or on the neck pickup. Because with it off, turn the treble up, or tone up just a little bit. That's a really cool sound that I personally like, and a lot of bluesy type of players too do as well. Not just necessarily blues, but kind of lends itself to that sort of, bluesy type of dirty clean, I guess you could say. So let's go on to the tumness. Again, this being like the sort of a, I guess everybody calls it the clon type of thing, because it's mid-humpy in that 1K mid-range. It does have a really cool clean tone, unique clean tone, kind of warms things up a little bit. And let's kick that on. But that's no fun. Let's turn the gain up. And then we go on to the Euphoria, which is, a lot of people think it's like a Dumble style amp, or Dumble style overdrive. Kind of, because what I was going for, the Dumble clones that I had played are always kind of chewy when they're breaking up. I kind of wanted that chewiness, but I didn't want like real mid-range humpy, like some of the the Zen Drive type stuff is. And I love the Zen Drive, don't get me wrong, and those type of pedals, but I wanted it to be a little bit more transparent, for lack of a better word. So here we go with the Euphoria. And on the neck. All right, and so now let's turn the orange clean channel up all the way so we can get some natural to overdriven sound. All right, so we have the clean channel up all the way. Let's play it by itself. And we'll kick on the tube screamer. And now on to the tumnus. And on to the 30-something. So the 30-something has two different channels. We have the kind of the Vox-inspired side, and then we have a separate boost, which is kind of based around what, like the Range Master style circuit, which is just basically a transistor circuit. Let's turn that on. I have the boost level all the way up, so this is just hitting it really hard with the boost. And on to the Euphoria. Turn the volume up just a little bit. All right, and one more thing. Let's run a simple transparent boost into this and see what happens whenever we hit the front end of this amp with a bunch of clean signal, not colored by anything. All right, so now we have the DB Plus, which is just a transparent, it's a transparent op amp boost, op amp bass boost. And here we go. Let's hit this guy with some volume. And again, let's compare that with a very mid-range, type of overdrive like the Tube Screamer. So as you can see, it kind of compresses everything, makes everything tighter whenever it's mid-rangey, whenever you're dropping some bottom end, all that sort of thing. All that stuff kind of helps shape hitting the front of that dirty amp. So I hope this helped you. Hope it kind of helped to explain the differences and show the difference in sounds in running overdrive pedals into a clean channel versus using them as more of a boost type of thing and running it into a dirty channel or a really dirty amp. So. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. If you do like this kind of stuff, I know it sometimes seems a little weird and awkward when you listen to a video, just the audio portion, but sometimes it works. I think in this situation, I think it does work. So let me know your thoughts, though. Email podcast@wamplerpedals.com, and I'd love to hear from you. So also, before I depart on this episode, settings. Let's talk about settings. So whenever I was using the pedal on the clean, with the amp being clean, I ran the gain up. I think I pretty much had it up all the way, and just had the volume to about unity. So it wasn't really boosting a whole lot. The volume wasn't boosting the volume much more than it would be, normally, I guess. And then tone, I had tone set just about where it sounded decent to me on that. So pretty much, I think it was around noonish on Tumnus, and probably around 11 o'clock on Euphoria. I had the bass down on the Euphoria, and bass and mids were about noon on the Tumnus Deluxe as well. And then on the Tube Screamer, I had the tone control, it was about 2 o'clock or so. And and then whenever I had the amp cranked, I turned the gain back to about half, maybe a little bit less, volume up. Didn't really touch the EQ controls much at all. And just basically hit the input of that amp harder, so that way it would distort a little bit more and add some flavoring, some coloring from the pedals itself. So anyways, hope this helps. Hope you enjoy it. We'll talk to you next week with a new podcast. Thanks for listening.